Hello. Melissa May Dillon here, coming live on my personal page, and generally we upload it to my YouTube channel, Melissa May Dillon. So I have a moment. The baby is sleeping, and I was thinking about all the different things that I could do. I could start writing. I could start lesson planning. I could read a book. I could watch the Martha Stewart documentary, which has been amazing and has been chef's kiss evidence of who I am. It was an amazing experience. I have a 2-week experience coming up here soon. Actually, we start tomorrow, getting clarity on your currency. And what's funny is I need everything that I am teaching, which is the power of a teacher. So I want to talk about thinking about before I was 8-figure business owner, insurance exam queen. I had to start somewhere. There was a time where I walked into a classroom having never taught the insurance exam, and I had to teach it. In order to be great at something, you have to begin. You have to get started, and you're not necessarily great, and you're not necessarily prepared, and you don't necessarily know exactly what you're doing, but how will you ever get there if you don't begin? And that's what a teacher is. When I think about myself as a teacher is someone who is a perpetual student. We have to learn, and then we will come back and teach it. And the power of an incredible teacher is when you go, you learn, you do it. And usually the teacher is the one who has to do it first and has to do it the hard way. And what I mean by that is in order to make a path through the jungle, someone has to cut down the bushes. There's going to be the first few people are going to be the ones dealing with the terrain as it is. It's not an easy path. They have to make the path. They have to cut down the trees. They have to deal with all the blocks and boulders in the path and everything. There's so many things in the way of being the one to start the path that people can then follow. The leader is the one who has to bear the greatest burden to cut through the path, to make the path clear for everyone else behind them. There always has to be someone who goes first. And as I think about a teacher and my life, I am the one who is willing to go first. I am the one who is willing to go through difficult experiences, removing the blocks, the one who is going in without any guidance, the one who is going in without anyone holding my hand, the one who is going in all alone. I will go in, I will learn, I will clear the path, and then I will come back and I will show you how to do it. And I'm also learning now that I can work with people who are willing to be right behind me. So hey, I'll take the brunt of everything. But I will lead the way. I will be the leader through this, but you can come right behind me. You don't have to wait. If you're willing to learn too, if you're one of those teachers and you're willing to be a part of this, come in, roll right behind me. There are some people who I'd rather wait till I learn the lesson, come back, tell the story, take a shower, get cleaned up, and then explain to you how it is that we move through, whatever it is. And right now, when it comes to teaching the insurance exam, okay, again, there was a moment where I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was a total newbie. I had teaching experience, teaching in a classroom of children. And granted, I was teaching them how to pass tests because that's a big problem with our education system, is that everything is about children being able to take and pass tests to prove that they're learning something in order to get money from the government. But I digress. Don't need to talk about that today. But I was qualified in teaching children how to take and pass tests. And I had insurance experience where I used to sell insurance policies. I used to talk to customers on the phone. And now there was a convergence of these two experiences where I was now going to be teaching people how to pass the insurance exam test, going from children to adults, and then going from you've got a whole year to teach them to you've got a week or less, you've got a couple of days to teach them. And children is it's whatever. They've got a bunch of learning they still need to do. And now I'm with high pressured situations with adults who are if I don't pass this test, I lose my job. If I lose my job, I don't have any money. If I don't have any money, I can't feed my children. If I can't feed my children, that's the worst thing in the world. So I went from teaching children in it was a stressful situation, but it wasn't life or death for these children to be able to get passing grades or whatever it is they needed. Now I was moving into this realm where these people depended upon me. Thinking about, I've never done this before. and I'm walking into a room of people who are all depending upon me to teach them the information they need to know so that they can pass this test, so that they can keep their job, so that they can continue to make money to feed their children. That's riding on me. And I had to go in there unprepared. I had to go in there having never done it before. I had to go in there trusting that I was going to be able to do it because I was a teacher and I used to sell insurance. That's what I walked into this situation. And I freaking killed it. I dominated this situation. I walked in, I became the most requested instructor. I became the one that they went to train all the new instructors. I completely changed the whole side of teaching at this company. In fact, it was like falling apart. They were very soon going to be eliminating the teaching positions. I got hired in right before they were going to like end it all. And then I completely radicalized everything so that the teaching component became one of the biggest things that they had and carried them through the COVID pandemic without all of the classes that I had secured, without all of the ways in which I have taught to secure the passes, to provide such evidence of what was possible when you had a well-qualified teacher in there teaching the information in a way that makes sense. Without having done that, the company may not have survived through COVID or may have struggled very deeply through COVID. We rode this amazing wave because I chose to go first. I chose to go first. I chose to do it while I was scared. I chose to do it while I was unprepared. I chose to do it when I was not confident. I decided I was going to do it. I decided I was going. I decided I was moving. I decided I was going to make this work. And in fact, I decided that even though they had only offered me potentially 2 days of two classes, basically 4 days of work. I was promised about 4 days of work working for them. And I went in and I decided I'm going to do so well at this. I'm going to be so freaking amazing at this that they're going to give me a full-time position. And that happened. And there are coworkers of mine who came to me and recently have said, I was scared for you because you said you were going to make this a full-time position. And I didn't want to break your heart to let you know that the company was going to be letting go of all of their teachers. Pretty soon there wouldn't be in a position at all. And not only did I make my own position, I made it possible for them to have to hire a ton more teachers. I went first. I led the way. I moved without confidence to gain confidence. I moved without preparation to gain preparation. I was willing to go first. I was willing to cut down all of the debris in front of the path in order to make the path possible. A person who is willing to go first is going to take the most beatings. They will, and I have. But the person who is willing to go first, if they have that amazing teaching ability to turn around and say, okay, here's what I learned. And I've also cleared the path. I made it easier for you. I've walked through it. I've cut down a lot of debris. I've cut down a lot of the barriers that are preventing you from being able to walk this path. And I have made it possible for you to walk this path so much easier, so much quicker than I did. It's ready. It's available to you if you want it. Because I went first. I did it without confidence. I did it without preparation. I did it without a ton of practice. I just went and I did it. And I cleared the path for other people. So now, okay, so let's see. I got the insurance job. I secured my position. I created my position. I got a full-time position despite the company being ready to fire all instructors. Not only did I turn the tide of that, I made it so that they'd have to hire more instructors. I increased the demand. I increased the demand significantly. They had a whole entire department that was about to be killed off, died, destroyed. And then because I went in and because I taught the way that I did, because I moved without confidence to gain the confidence, because I moved without preparation to build the preparation, because I was willing to go first, I created a whole segment within that company where they had to hire more instructors, where they had to have more availability. And then I trained the instructors and I got them to teach like I got to teach. I went first. I went first without preparation. I went first without confidence. And then I turned around and I showed other people how to do it. And that is what I want to do now with being able to have whatever you want for your income. Okay? I'll tell you right now, I've had one amazing experience at building a company. And it's been freaking amazing building this company. And it has not been without trials and tribulations and road blockages and all kinds of stuff that I've had to deal with to build this 8-figure company to what it is today. In less than 3 years, we built it up to an 8-figure company. That is the value. That is the worth of my company. I chose to go first without confidence. I chose to go first without preparation. I chose to go first so I could turn around and lead others and show people how to do it. And I want to do the same thing now. I want to do the same thing now with not just passing the insurance exam, with not just building a business, but with creating a life that you love. Most of us are living a life we do not love. Most of us are waking up to a life that we don't want to be in. We're waking up to an alarm clock to show up to a place that we don't want to be at, to deal with people we don't want to deal with, to eat food we don't want to have to eat. But it's the only way that we can figure out how to make money, to feed our children, to be in this cycle again every single day, not enjoying our life, not enjoying our experiences, not enjoying what we're doing. And we know that there's something better. We know that there's more available to us. And we read books and we watch videos and we do meditations and we're trying our best to figure it out. And yet we still find ourselves in this cycle. We still find ourselves in a cycle of working a job for a paycheck, not increasing our income, not increasing our experiences in the planet, scraping by, just making enough money to be able to feed myself, to get up to do it again. Making enough money just to pay my rent to get up and do it again. Most of us are not actually living. Most of us are just in this hamster wheel. I got tired of it. I ejected myself out of that hamster wheel when I was so sick and so done with it. My body was riddled with issues. My mentals was riddled. My emotional spirit was beaten and trodden down. And I decided I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to do it anymore. I am willing to walk through the freaking jungle of figuring this out. I'm willing to clear out the vines. I'm willing to go through the jungle of figuring out how to live a life that I love, bringing in the income that I want, living my desires as I choose to experience them. How am I going to make this possible? And there were some teachers, there was some evidence, there was some books available. And there's the law of attraction, and there's some movies, and there's some stuff. And I devoured all of it. I devoured everything I could, as much as I can, to learn what I needed to learn as I was moving through the jungle. But I had to clear my own path in doing it. I had to encounter debris. I had to encounter blocks, and I had to figure out a way around them, through them, over them, so that I can turn around and guide people how to do it too. So if you have any interest in waking up to a life that you love, if you have any interest in changing your situation where you have to wake up every day hating your life, stuck in a cycle of making just enough money to pay your rent, to feed your kids, but having to work at a job you don't enjoy, dealing with people you don't enjoy, dealing with situations that you don't enjoy, if you are done with that, I am telling you that I am going to show you, I have shown you that it is possible to have a different experience. You can have a completely different experience in your life. I wake up every day now when I want to. I mean, the baby, wakes me up, but we have no set alarm clock. We have no set requirement of where we need to be deemed by someone else. There are times where we have appointments, but I chose them. I chose that we get to go to a chiropractor. We go to a chiropractor instead of having to rely on a doctor. Most of the time, we're healthy. We're fine. We don't have a lot of illnesses within our body because we're not doing things that stress us the F out. Stress is the number one cause of most illnesses, of most diseases. That's the root of the cause. Your body is running on fight or flight all the time. All of your energies are being exerted into handling and dealing with your anxieties, which you're not even properly handling or dealing with them. And so your body gets worn out, your body gets stressed out, it causes physical problems within your body. And then you're trying to deal with the physical problems on top of the fact that you hate your job, on top of the fact that you're barely having enough to pay rent, on the top of the fact that you're barely having enough to get your food, and you can't really have really fun experiences except every once in a while when you're willing to put it on a credit card, and eventually you'll pay it off and it'll be fine someday, somehow, some way it'll work out. But I need to be able to relax just so that I can go back into the cycle of dealing with a job I don't like, stressing myself out, hurting my body. Like I was so done with that cycle. I was so done with that cycle. And I broke out of it in 2017. In 2017, my body riddled with all kinds of diseases, riddled with, that sounds way worse than what it is. But I mean, I had shingles down my back in my late 20s. You're not supposed to have those until you're 60. I had chronic yeast infections. I had plaque psoriasis popping up all over my body, random patches of plaque psoriasis when I never had that issue before. I was having all kinds of experiences, all kinds of problems because it was related to stress. And now I live a life where I don't have these stressful things. I'm not saying I am devoid of stress. One, because I've been programmed and conditioned that stress is something we need to have in our life, and I'm still working myself through that. But I am not stressed by an alarm clock. I'm not stressed by a boss telling me I have to be somewhere at a certain time in a certain way, dealing with people I don't like, dealing with situations I don't enjoy. I don't have any of that anymore. I don't have the stress of oh my God, of any, like, honestly, every day I get to choose what I wake up and do. I mean, yes, I have the baby. I have to take care of the baby, but I get to choose what I get to do every day. I got to choose right now. Did I feel like writing? Did I feel like watching a show? Did I feel like going live on Facebook? What did I feel like doing? I just got to do what I feel like. I just get to do what I feel like. The most of the day, I wander around outside watching my baby as she walks through the grass, picking up rocks, lifting up tree branches, like all the things. Like there's just so much freedom within my life. And this did not exist. It did not exist. There was a time where this did not exist, and I decided to figure out how to have freedom in my life. I decided that if I was going to be broke and stuck, I would rather be broke and free. And I quit my teaching job after the end of the school year. I quit my teaching job. I started driving Lyft. I started driving Uber. I took on substitute teaching positions where I didn't have to make long-term commitments, but I could make enough money that I could eat and I could have freedom. I was willing to do things. I was willing to sacrifice things. I moved out of my apartment. I broke my lease. I moved into my friend's living room where all there was a freaking curtain blocking I didn't even have a wall. I didn't even have a door. I was just in my friend's living room. Everything I owned was under the bed. I lived in a 10 by 10 room. I think that's too big. It was like big enough for my queen bed to fit in there. And then you can walk around the edge of my queen bed, and everything I owned was under it. That's the position I've been in my life. That was one of the lowest places because I was like, I'm done. But honestly, it was like one of the happiest places because at that time I chose freedom over anything else. I chose what I wanted over anything else. I wasn't going to live for other people anymore. I wasn't going to live for a paycheck anymore. I wasn't going to live for someone else's schedule anymore. I wasn't going to live for someone else choosing my time, my talents, my skills, and what I was going to express in the world. I decided it was up to me. I decided that I got to do what I wanted to do. And so I gave away every possible thing that I could, sold off anything that I could, reduced my bills as much as I could so that I could experience freedom, so that I could figure out what I actually wanted. And it was in that space where I chose freedom over anything else that I landed one of my most freedomist jobs I ever had. I did go back into a job. I did go back to a paycheck, but it was a much better paycheck than it was before. And it included a life of freedom where I got to travel around the country, where I got to visit friends and family, where I got to have a lot of heckin' fun. And it's the position that I chose to create as the insurance exam queen. Like I said at the very beginning of this, I was hired at a company that very soon was going to end all teaching positions. But I came in there. I went first. I chose to lead. I chose to change the entire sector of that company. I chose that I was going to be the best, greatest teacher ever without preparation, without confidence. I led first. I chose to go for, I choose myself first every time. Now, I used to not. I used to choose other people first. I used to choose my job first. I used to choose their schedule first. I used to choose their amount of money that they were willing to pay me. I let everyone else make choices for me. And then I'll just accept that because I appreciate what I can get. But then I decided to put me first. And putting me first required sacrifices. It did. But from that position, from that place of choosing myself first, of choosing freedom first, catapulted me into the most amazing position, the most amazing job that I had ever had up to that point. The company even had unlimited PTO. I didn't use it nearly as much as I could have, but they had unlimited PTO. I had went from saying I will no longer work for a company that makes me a school system, because technically Schools are not companies. I will no longer work for a position or job that makes me sacrifice myself, that makes me, stick to this rigid schedule that I hate, doing the things that I hate. I'm not going to do it for very low pay. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not. And I would rather not work. I'd rather not have a steady paycheck in order to be free of all of that. So I went first. I went first without preparation. I went first without confidence. I learned how to do it. And now I'm turning around and showing you guys how to do it. It is possible to live a life that you love. It is possible to wake up every day without stress, without worry, without overwhelm, without anxiety. It is possible to not live under anyone else's thumb about your schedule, how you're allowed to express your talents, how you're allowed to express your genius, how you're allowed to earn money for it, how much money you're allowed to earn for it. You can be the one to set that bar. You can be the one who decides. You are the one who ultimately decides. It's just that you've handed over your power to other people for so long. You've handed over the power that you have within you because other people, when you were younger, told you that you weren't powerful or that you shouldn't be powerful or that you need to ask permission or that you need to be a lady or that you need to be nice or that you need to be this or you need to be that in order to be accepted. I get it. We have this reptilian part of our brain where the only way as humans we were able to survive was to be with other humans. If you're all alone, naked in the wilderness, it's not likely that you get to survive for very long or that you have a good quality life. You're always going to be running from a tiger, running from the snow, running from the rain, running from the bugs. If you have no other people around you, your existence on this planet would be tricky. We do have people around us now. We live in cities, we live in towns. Even if you don't personally know somebody, there's someone else willing to kill your meat so that you can buy it at the grocery store. And even though you don't really interact with everybody, you are supported by other people around you. We needed other people. There was a time where it was like we needed the acceptance of the group in order to survive. And we all kind of have that lingering in our systems and in our minds. If the group doesn't accept me, I don't belong. And if I don't belong, I will be sent out alone. And if I'm sent out alone, I will die. And that has translated to, I will do what the group wants so that I can stay in the group, so that I can belong, so that I can live. But we're not living under that paradigm anymore. We're not living under that situation anymore. We don't have to operate under that belief system. That energy has died. There's no requirement for us to continue that energy of I have to be a part, I have to have the group accept me in order to be okay. That there was a time when that existed on this planet. There was a time where that was necessary, but we have evolved past that time. And we don't have to prove ourselves, and we don't have to, get everyone in the group to be happy with us. And we don't have to do it someone else's way. We get to do it our own way. And when you step into the power of doing it your own way, when you choose to live according to you and what is best for you and what feels right for you, when you do that, it actually encourages the group to love you because then they see that they no longer have to live under anyone else's rules, that they get to create their own rules, just like you did. If you are authentically expressing themselves, they get to authentically express themselves, and then they feel more comfortable to do so. I am willing to go first. I'm always willing to go first. I am always willing to walk in unprepared and figure it out. Off the cuff is my jam. It's my jam. It's where I do it the best. I've got this 2-week free experience planned out with me, and I don't have it planned out, but I know it's going to come exactly perfect how it needs to. I know it's going to land exactly the way it needs to. I'm ready to go in first, unprepared, leading the way for other people. And every time I do, it comes out magic. Every time. Even if it takes me a minute, even if I have to stumble along the way. I wasn't the best teacher from the jump. I'm probably the best of what was available at the time, but the me who teaches today about the exam is light years away from who I was when I first taught the exam. Light years away. I was still heavily reading the book. Like when you're learning about the insurance exam, every company that you work for has like these massive textbooks of information that you have to read to learn about the material on the exam. For the first few months or so, I was still using those books, heavily relying on what the book said and then briefly explaining some of the things. Eventually, it got to the point where we never looked at the book again. It was just me teaching, me writing notes, me drawing everything on the board so that people could understand it and could see it. But I had to go first unprepared. I had to go first not being confident. I had to be the one to go first so I can turn around and show you how to do it. So I'm inviting people now on the journey of seeing how to do this life of freedom, how to create the life that you want to have. We are all creators of our own reality. We were not taught that. We were not shown that. That was not presented to us as an option when we were younger, that you are the creator of your own reality. And if given the right tools, if given the right understandings, if given the right ways of thinking, of feeling, of believing, then you can create your own reality. But we were not given those things. But I am willing to go first. I'm willing to go first unprepared. I'm willing to go first not confident, to show you how to do that, to show you how to create your own reality. And I have to be reminded of it. I have to be reminded that I have done this over and over again. I have been put into situations where no one thought I would be successful. No one believed in me. It's so easy now. You guys look at me and you say, oh my God, she's got this 8-figure business. Look at all these people. Everyone believes in her. There was a day where people didn't. There was a day where I was the only one who believed in myself. I was the one saying, I'm going to go out into this crazy ass jungle where there is no clear path ahead of me, and I'm going to figure it out. And then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. But no one stood by me. No one was like, yes, Melissa, let me go with you. It was like, okay, you go and we'll be here and we love you. We support you from afar in the choices that you're making. They may or may not be successful. We doubt that they will be, but you do you, boo. That was a level of support that I had in my life, even in starting the Insurance Exam Queen business. My own husband at the time did not want to support the business financially. He said, you have to do it yourself. And maybe that was one of the greatest gifts he had given me besides telling me to just teach. But there was no one who wanted to support this business. There was no one willing to stand next to me, to stand beside me and said, you have to go first. You have to do it first. And I said, okay, I'll do it first. I'll do it. I'll show you how to do it. I will handle the debris in the jungle. I will handle cutting down the vines and cutting down the trees and removing the boulders and removing the blocks. I will do it. I will go first. I don't need you with me. It is not a requirement that you're here because this is what I chose for myself and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I did it. I did it. In less than 3 years, we built an 8-figure company. That's what I have. I chose to go alone. I chose to do it alone. There wasn't someone really willing to walk beside me in this till about a year in. I mean, there was people I could pay to support me, right? I had my coach, Christine, who cheered me on, who guided me through things. But it's not like she invested in my business. I invested in her. I was the one. I put my bet on me. I put my bet on me that I would do it, that I would make it happen. And I succeeded. And it wasn't easy. And it wasn't a beautiful ray of sunshine every single day of my life building this business. But I was willing to do it. I am continually willing to do it. And I'm moving on from teaching about the insurance exam to teaching other people how they can do this too. How you can decide that you are the creator of your life, that you can decide that you get to have the desires that you want to have within your life, that you get to decide that you get to have the experiences you want to experience, and that there is no person, no belief, no situation that will prevent you from being able to have that. That's what I am doing every single day. I am going out every single day of my life. Every day that I wake up, I am deciding that I am the creator of my reality. I am the creator of my experiences. I am the one who brings my desires to me. The world evolves around me. My world evolves around me. It does. Because whatever I decide to put out there is what I receive back. And for so long, we are conditioned about what it is that we're allowed to put out there or what we're allowed to see. Our world is as big as our parents allowed it to be. That's the truth. And that's why so many people fight and argue with one another because their world was as big as their parents allowed them to see. They don't see anything else. They don't understand other people's perspectives. They don't understand other people's experiences. It's only their way. That's it. And if you don't believe my way, you're trash. I used to be in the politic game. I used to have a side, and I flip-flopped back and forth between the sides. And then I realized I said, none of this is serving me. Right wing, left wing, none of it is serving me. It is serving someone else's belief system, someone else's fear, someone else's conditioning, someone else's whatever. It's not empowering to me in my day. It's not making me a better person to be involved in this. And I don't choose to be involved in any of that anymore. If it makes you feel good and you love to do it, by all means, enjoy yourself. But I prefer to take ownership and control of what I can do within my life and in my experience. And it's very possible there is one day I become a politician, if I so choose, if I desire that, but only because like, politics is a game that is decided by people who have money. If you think that your vote actually translated to what happens, I don't know, man. I've watched enough TV shows. I've watched enough movies. These decisions are not made by voters. These decisions are made by the very wealthiest people who are trying to hold on to all the power that they can, manipulating politicians, manipulating situations. When you look at the history between the church and the government and how far back they're intertwined, and how the government is tied to the church. Just go back into England's history. Just go back just a little bit about how government and religion was so deeply entwined, and that they either controlled people as the government or they controlled people as religion. And then oftentimes they use each other. They use one another, right? There was always a church that the king had to rally against. And there was always a king that the church had to rally against. And there was always a fight. It looks a lot different today, but it's not that different. It's not that different. And so if you think that your vote makes an impact as to what actually happens, you're losing your power. You're giving your focus and attention to something that's not going to serve you. That's just pure facts. I feel like I've gone into a different direction than my intentions here, but I trust that what I say needs to come out. I trust that what I'm saying needs to be heard. You are giving your power away at whatever it is you focus on, whatever it is you give your attention to, it has your power. You pay with everything, with your time and with your focus. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention to the fact that everything you're giving attention to, you're paying. Your time and your attention, your focus, your eyesight, your brain power is all very valuable. We think we're these physical beings and that the only thing that matters in the world is what physically is happening, but you don't understand that your thoughts actually have power as they leave your head. You don't understand that your feelings have power as they leave your body. You don't understand this. No one taught this to you. And so you don't realize and you don't understand that when you're giving your focus and attention, there's actually power behind your thoughts. There is power behind your feelings. And when you give your time and attention to something, you are giving them that power, and then they get to use it to continue their message and their whatever it is that they're putting out, right? Some people choose to focus on the presidential campaign, the presidential debate, and they're paying attention to that. They're giving their time and their attention to that. And those people make their decisions based off of who's paying them the most. Unless you're paying one of those politicians, you don't actually have their ear like you think you do. You're just giving them your thought energy. You're giving them your attention energy, and they're feeding off of it. When we say that money is energy, that is what we mean. Money is an energy. You are not just a physical being. You are an energetic being. You have vibrations. You have radio waves coming out of you. Like, you have to understand there is more than just this physical body here. There is a whole energetic presence around you, through you, of you. And whatever it is that you are focusing on and giving its time and attention to, they are absorbing that power. It is feeding that, whatever it is you are focused on. I would much rather spend my time, I would much rather pay attention to people like Melanie Ann Layer, who talks about wealth and freedom and living fulfilling lives. I would rather watch her all day long than watch one presidential election debate about people who don't care about your everyday life and people who care about winning the biggest monies. Because I promise, politics is all a money game. And until I have enough money, I don't care to join it. I don't care to be a part of it. I can take so much ownership. I only, the energy that I have, what I pay attention to, the energies that I'm put out into the world. If I give it away to other people, I depower myself. I take away from my own personal power. But if what I choose to focus on fulfills me, if what I choose to focus on gives me wisdom, if what I choose to focus on gives me knowledge that I can then use for myself, right? Watching Melanie Ann Layer teaches me wisdom and strength and courage and vulnerability and how to go first. She led first. When I think about teachers are the people who are willing to go first. Teachers are the people who are willing to go through the jungle, create a path for other people, clear the way, cut down the weeds, cut down the trees, make the path clear. She did that. She in the front seat of her car in 2016. Like, so many of us have this like imposter syndrome. Who am I to tell people what to do when my own life looks like this? And Melanie was at a point where she had lost her boyfriend. She had lost everything that she had. She was living in her car, and she decided to listen to a course on, she actually was Googling how to make your ex-boyfriend mad, how to get him angry. And in doing so, she found this course about attracting an amazing love life or something. I forget the exact title. So then she started watching that course. She started listening to it on repeat over and over again. She was listening to this woman teach this class about how to have the love of your life, how to date amazingly, how to attract the right partner. And she started implementing these things in her life while she was living in her car, while she was homeless, while there were days where she didn't always have food available to her. And then a friend had asked her about something, and she was like, oh, I just learned that you have to do this XYZ. The friend went and did it. The friend came back and said, oh my God, I did exactly what you said. I had the most amazing experience. I want you to tell me more. And I want to pay you to tell me these things that I need to do. And Melanie had a question like, who am I? I'm living out of my car. I'm homeless. I was dumped. Who am I? Who am I to decide to say that you should pay me money for what I have to tell you? She decided. She said, okay, fine, I'll do it. She was willing to go first. Everyone around her, I imagine, would probably say, who are you to be qualified to do that? But she didn't care about other people's opinions. She cared about helping the person in front of her. And the person in front of her said, what you taught me changed my life. So could that woman have watched the course and not, like if Melanie said, well, oh, I got it from this course, watch this course. Don't come to me. But the woman said, I got my help from you. I want to listen to what you have to say. If you studied the course and then came back and told me the information, I like the way you told it to me. I want to hear it from you. That's essentially what happened throughout that situation. So then she goes from, then she starts coaching people, and more people are coming to her saying, I heard you help so-and-so. I want you to help me. You help them. I want you to help me. I heard you did amazing things with them. Can you do that for me? And then she started doing that. And she became the invisible coach. Sorry, I'm watching the baby sleep on camera right now. She became known as the invisible coach. Nobody knew her name. They just got her number from someone else. They would get a PayPal. They would pay the PayPal, and they would have a meeting with her. And she would teach them what she was learning from the classes that she was taking. And now she has an $80 million in total at the last count of what money that she has brought in through her business. She eventually she was the invisible coach, and then she eventually started her brand, Alpha Femme. And then she eventually started, or I don't know exactly the order everything went in, but she started teaching a class about feminine energetics. She started teaching classes about creating wealth. She started everything that she learned that she was doing. She turned around and started teaching it to other people. She led first, turned around, taught other people. Lead first, turn around, teach other people. Lead first, turn around, teach other people. That's what I'm doing as a teacher. I am listening to Melanie Ann Layer all the time, learning what she's learning from, turning around, teaching it to you guys. teaching it to whoever wants to learn. I'm willing to go first. I'm willing to go first. I'm willing to learn what I need to learn. I'm willing to listen to the amazing people who have the wisdom and have the knowledge, and then I will turn around and share it with you. I'm willing to go first through the jungle, cutting down the debris, cutting down the vines, moving the trees, moving the rocks, creating a path that makes it a lot easier for you to go through. I will go first. I will go first unprepared. I will go first without confidence. But I will come back prepared. I will come back so freaking confident. I have done it numerous times, over and over again. The letter that my coworker wrote me, he goes, the first time you walked into the office, his job at this time. So I was teaching, there's 4 major insurance licenses that you can have: property, casualty, life, and health. I was teaching property, casualty, home, and auto. That was what I knew. I sold that before. I taught that before. I didn't teach it, but I sold that insurance before. That was my experience, was home and auto. And then I said I wanted to I proved to them that I was extremely valuable and that I should be a full-time employee. So in order to be a full-time employee, I needed to know all 4 subjects. So then I said, I need to learn life and health. I need to get some experience here. So one of the other teachers, he knew life and health, and they said, meet with him. He said, I walked into the room and he was like, this ain't going to work. He said he saw my buzzed head. He was like, this girl has no idea what she's doing. This is nuts. She does not fit. She does not belong. But he sat down with me. He taught me the information. He shared stuff with me. And then he sent me on my way. And he said, poor girl. And then he saw me teach. He saw me teach and he went, holy crap. This girl is amazing. Look at what she's doing. Look at how she explains things. Look at how she keeps it so simple. Look how she breaks that down. He said, it was magic watching you teach. He said, I saw you with your buzz head walking in here and I was like, there ain't no way. This girl has no chance in hell. And then he saw me teach. He saw me do my magic. And he was like, oh my gosh. And then I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm working on learning all 4 lines of license so that I can get a full-time position. He goes, there's no way. The company is going to be, reducing the teachers. This is falling apart. And he's like, I didn't want to break her heart and tell her. He didn't tell me anything. Nobody was going to stop me. It didn't matter to me. I learned all 4 lines of license with his help. I learned, the health side. And I went on to teach all 4 lines, became the best instructor, became the most requested instructor, secured multiple clients, got back many clients that they had missed, and ended up having to create a whole new segment within the company to manage all of the business I had brought in through my live teaching classes. I revived a section of the company that was dying because I chose to go first. I chose that this is what I wanted. I want a full-time position with this company. I want to be doing this full-time with freedom. I just went back through my memories. I went back through my pictures. The first class I taught was January 9th and 10th of 2018. That was the first time I taught a class that I flew to teach a class. I had taught a couple in person in Arizona, but the first time that I got on a plane and went somewhere else to teach was January 9th or 10th. By January 29th, I had a corporate credit card because I took a picture with it. I had a corporate credit card and I was free to book any hotel that I wanted, eat anywhere that I wanted, get any rental car that I wanted, and drive around to go teach these classes and fly around to go teach these classes. And by August, I had my full-time position doing it. Benefits and everything, bonuses and everything. Because I decided it's what I wanted. It was on its death's door, the teaching aspect of this company. The live in-person instructor, it was all but dead. All but dead. And I was one of the last teachers that was hired on before they were like, yeah, you know what, we're going to kill this. And then I showed up and then I killed it. I killed the game of teaching. I went in with the very first class that they sent me to travel to, a 100% pass rate. Everyone passed. Unheard of. And these people, when you think about what I was doing, these people's job depended on passing this exam. They were relying on me to teach them what they needed to know to secure a pass, to keep their job, to get money, to feed their children. That was on me. And so I walk into the room, they're poised and ready, pen in hand, ready to take notes, looking at me to be the answer to everything that they needed in that moment. And I was unprepared and I was unconfident and I freaking killed it at 100% pass rate. Because I was willing to do it. I was willing to show up. I was willing to walk into a room I didn't quite deserve to be in. I didn't quite have the preparation to be in. I didn't quite have the confidence to be in. But how do you get those things without doing it? In order to get those things, you have to do it. You have to move when you're unprepared. You have to move when you're not confident. You have to move. When you think you don't belong, when you think you don't fit, when you think you're an imposter, whatever, you still have to move. You cannot not be an imposter until you do it. Everyone's a beginner. Everyone's a beginner before they get to be great. No one just shows up great. It doesn't happen like that. No one just shows up great. You have to be a beginner. You have to start. You have to be knowing nothing. You have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to grow. You have to be willing to cut down the jungle stuff in front of your way to make a path. If you're a leader, if you're the leader, you've got to be able to go first. You've got to be the one going first. And you've got to be willing to do it without being fully prepared, without being fully confident, without feeling like I belong here. I had butterflies in my belly when I walked into that room the first time to go teach. And it didn't ease up for a few months before I can walk into that room and boldly know that I belonged there and that I was the best person to be in that room. I knew that. I knew that at the beginning, but I didn't feel it because I hadn't had the experience yet. I had to go through it. I had to do it. And then there became a point where I walked into that room knowing I was exactly the one. I was the one who was going to be able to show them exactly what they needed to be able to pass in the best way so that they could secure and keep their job, so that they could pass the exam, whatever it is they wanted. But I didn't start there. Mentally, emotionally, it was a whole thing. But I chose that going first. I chose that going without preparation. I chose that going without confidence was going to get me there. You have to be able to take some steps. You have to be able to move with fear, move with the anxiety, move with the imposter, move with the unpreparedness anxiety, move despite the lack of confidence. You don't get the confidence until you do it. That's what some people don't understand. They're like, I need the confidence. I can't do this unless I feel confident. How the frick do you think you're going to get confident until you do it? You have to do it. Doing it is what gains the confidence. Doing it is where you grow the courage. Doing it is where you get the experience. You can never, ever be fully prepared to do something until you do it without being prepared. That's where you learn. That's where you get the confidence. That's where you get the experience. That's when it happens. And I am preaching to myself here because, like I said, I am making a transition. I am not just, and I've been doing it. I've been dabbling in it for a little bit. Okay. I know that I could teach the insurance exam in my freaking sleep. And now I'm moving into this new arena of where I want to teach people to do what I have done. I went first. I went through the imposter syndrome. I went through the, lack of paycheck. I went through these things to be able to build my business, to be able to live a life that I love, to be able to wake up every day to a life that I love. I was willing to go first. And now I'm turning back around and teaching you. I don't have the full preparation. I don't have the full confidence because I can't have that until I do it. Can't have that until I do it. But I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to go first. I'm willing to learn. Based on your own belief, confidence, standards, and commitment to be greater. Law of attraction. Yes. I set the tone. I set the tone. I decide that this is what I want and I'm going to go for it. And yes, I will have to learn. And yes, I will have to grow. And yes, I will have to evolve. And yes, not every part of it's going to be fun. And yes, not every part of it is going to be great. Because in order to clear the path, there's the debris, right? The first person through the jungle had to deal with all of the debris. Like I think about, I now have access to like 800 acres of woods right on my back door. So I can walk out my back door, walk through my property for a little bit, and then I can just go through all of these woods. Now, I've been hiking in woods for a long time, but I always go on a path, right? I always go where there's like a set path. You start here. Here's the trailhead. Follow the trail. The trees have been cut out of the way. There's no rocks on your path. In fact, like sometimes the path is even like, graveled for you or like set out for you. Just follow the path. I've been in the woods all my life on paths. But now hiking in my own backyard, which is freaking amazing, there's no path. There's trees, there's rocks, there's all kinds of things in the way. No one has cleared a path through there. No one has said, this is the set course to go. You want to bend around this curve. You want to go here. You want to go up this hill. You want to go. No one has set that path. There is no clear path. It's whatever I choose when I go back there into the woods. What do I choose? What am I willing to encounter? Over here, I'm going to have to crawl over this tree. Over here, I'm going to have to deal with that rock. Over here, I'm going to have to deal with all these bushes. And over here, and no matter where I walk, there's infinite amount of leaves on the ground. There's spiders. There could be snakes coming out of any situation. It's completely wide open, which is the most amazing and the most scariest thing. So many of us want to follow a set path. We don't want to have to be the one to go first. We don't want to be the one who puts our life on the line, who puts our character on the line, who puts our bank account on the line, who puts our whatever the hell it is we have to put on the line. I was willing to put everything on the line when I quit my job and started the Insurance Exam Queen business. I had already proven to myself that I was really freaking fantastic at what I did, but I was never a business owner. I was never someone who led a team. I was never someone who did this without someone else telling me what to do. Like I had to do it all. And there was no one, not one person who was like, I fully have got you. I'm going to do this with you. I will help you. I had to figure out everything on my own. And then I had to pay people to help me if I didn't know what I was doing. There wasn't not one person who stepped up to do anything for me for free. There wasn't not one person who was like, I will give you money to start the Insurance Exam Queen business. Everyone either wanted something like money or they wanted a service in order for me to do what I was doing. I was willing to do it. I was willing to do it alone. I was willing to cut the path. I was willing to go through the woods, through the jungle, not knowing what I was doing. And I am grateful and luckily like appreciative that there are, like when I think about like the Oregon Trail, back when people lived all on the east coast of the country and they wanted to go to the west coast. And through the west coast, it was like wild, what the heck sound was that? Wild, crazy terrain that people had to go through to move in the like watch the movie 1923, I think it's called 1880 something. The story of the Duttons and going across the country. Like they had to create their own path. And there was a little few stops along the way. There was a fort here. There was like a couple of places here, but most of the journey, they were on their own. You could maybe get a guide who's done this before, but like, it's not safe and clear necessarily. There's going to be, Native Americans that you encounter. There's going to be thieves and robbers that you encounter. There's going to be rivers that you encounter. And like if you want to get to the West Coast, these are the things that you have to be willing to go through. And most of you will die on your way there. You have to risk basically imminent death to go through the Oregon Trail and to get to the West Coast of the America. And so many people were willing to do it. So many people died on that journey. So many people we can't even count died on that journey. There's no way of knowing. But like so many people were willing to go through it. So many people were willing their own life to get to the other side. And I've been willing to do that over and over again. I've been willing to do that and I will continue to do that. If you come with me and you come to work with me and I don't have the answer, I will find it and I will come back. I always do. I will lead first. I will find it. I am the learner who is the greatest teachers are also the biggest students, because we're always willing to learn so that we can turn around and teach it to the person behind us. So that I can turn around and teach it to a lot more people. There's so many of you who are like, I want to start my own business. I want to do this on my own. I want to own my life, and I'm so scared I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm so scared. I'm crippled by anxiety. I'm crippled by fear. I don't know. I can't leave this job. I can't leave this paycheck. How can I do this? Everyone's relying on me. You're not quite willing to take the full beating, but that's okay. I did. I already took it for you. I already took it for you. I can show you a path. I can take you on a path that's been cleared. I can take you on a path that provides you with way more insight than if you were to just do it on your own. I will be that guide. I will walk you through. I've got you. I've done it for myself. I've been the person I had to rely on my whole life. No one paid my bills for me. Not ever. Not ever. Since I was 18, it was me. I paid my rent. I bought my food. I paid for my car. I paid for my insurance. Not one time, not once did I ever receive help from my parents paying a bill. Never. Never. Not one time. It's been me. It's been me alone, taking care of myself since I was 18. I've gone through this journey. I've gone through living the life to someone else's accordance. I've gone through staying at a job you hate. I've gone through waking up on someone else's schedule. I decided it wasn't for me. I went through the journey of figuring that out. I went through the journey of starting my own business. I went through the journey of deciding that what I wanted was more important than what other people wanted. I decided that what I cared about was more important than what other people cared about. I decided to put myself first. I was the only one taking care of me. So only my opinion matters. Only my belief matters. Only what I want matters. No one else is paying my bills. No one else is supporting me. It's me. It's me and me. And I was willing to go first, and I'm willing to show you what I learned. I'm willing to show you what I gained. I'm willing to show you how I did it. I'm willing to give you a lifeline as you do it. I'll go first. I did go first. Are you ready to learn and follow? Are you ready to be the ones to go on the next phase of the journey with me? How far behind do you want to be? Do you want to be rolled with me, alongside me as I build Melissa May Dillon? As I build this coaching career where I show people that they can be the masters of their own lives? Do you want to sit back for a little bit, make sure that I've got my feet? The longer you sit back, the more expensive it's going to be. I'll tell you that. I'm the one who supports me, and I know my value and my worth, and my prices as I help people will continue to rise. I will always do things for free. You will always have videos like this. You will always have posts on my page. You can always learn from me. But to get the deepest, most powerful learning, to get my time and attention, to get my focus on you, it's going to require a cost. I still need to support and grow my family. I still get to have my desires. And right now on this planet Earth, we've decided that money gets to be the exchange. So yeah, in exchange for my teachings, in exchange for the fact that I am willing to go first and to clear a path, to deal with the stuff along the way, to clear the boulders, to cut down the trees, to clear out the debris, that comes at a cost. It does. I was willing to pay it in order to do it. And now if you want to learn from me, you've got to pay to get my wisdom. You've got to pay to get my confidence. You've got to pay to get my experience. And I'm not going to feel bad about that. Because you know what's interesting is the more you're willing to pay, the more invested you actually are. Duh. It's so simple. And I'm here for the people. Like, there are times when I first started with Melanie and Leia, I will tell you, I couldn't afford what she had going on. I took everything free that she had. Everything free that she had. I was in it. I was on it. I was watching it. I was all up in it. And the first thing I had ever bought from her was actually a mystery. I had no idea what it was. It was called the Invisible Offer. She said, I'm selling something. It's $111. Buy it if you want. What is it? It's the invisible offer. It's $1,100 or $111. You can buy it. If you would like to wait to learn more, it'll cost you more money. She went on to sell that thing for like $3,000 to $4,000. Some people paid I don't remember exactly the highest price it went to, but some people paid thousands of dollars where I had paid $111. And it ended up being one of her amazing, amazing programs where she teaches people the cash sequence. It was awesome. I only paid $111 to have it. That was the first thing I could afford of Melanie's. I didn't know what it was, but I knew that if she was selling something, I wanted it. Now I pay her $1,000 a month to be part of her Alpha Femme experience. I took everything free that she had. I learned, I evolved, I grew, I developed, I implemented to the point where I could have enough money to pay for her higher level experiences. So I'm here with you. If you're like, Melissa, I want to work with you so badly, but I got no money in my account. Okay, keep listening, keep implementing. Do what I say. Watch every video that I have. Read every post that I post. And you will get there. And there will be a day where you go, I have the money. I want to work with you more intensely. I have the money. I'm ready to lock into your energy. Great. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Part of the journey between me watching everything with free for Melanie got me prepared to be a person who can be more in Melanie's world. If I could have afforded what she had without having developed myself through the free stuff, I wouldn't have appreciated all that I have available. Like I'm on Melanie Flicks almost 24/7. I am listening to what she says. It's in my ear. It's on my TV. As I'm driving, I am listening. I am learning from her. To go homeless in your car to 2016 to now she has her own island, to now she's created an entire world on Facebook of women empowering other women making millions of dollars like it's nothing. Women making money as easy as it's air. She went first. She showed how to do it, and now she's teaching everyone else. And I wanted to learn from her, and I've been learning from her. And I couldn't always afford it, but I had my time. I had my energy. I had my attention, and I paid with that. I watched anything she put out for free. I signed up for anything that she had. I read her posts. I followed along on her journey until I got to a point where I could afford her stuff. And now I afford one of her second highest. She has one-on-one coaching. I'm not there yet. I think it's like $500,000 for like a phone call. It's pretty wild where she's at, which is, I think, is amazing. And I am not complaining. Like, I would never be like, you need to lower your prices. It's more like, hang on, I'm getting there. I'll be able to afford that soon. That's my thought process. I understand that money translates to energy, and that when I have the energy to secure that amount of money to secure her, I will be in her energy. And I'm willing to do what it takes. I'm willing to do what it takes to get there. And I don't see it as something impossible. I don't see it as, gosh, damn, why does she charge that much? Who thinks that they're allowed to charge that much? I'd be like, I'm ready to charge that much. And when I get up there, when I'm able to secure that spot, learn and grow and evolve from her in that way, like I'm all for it. Whatever price it is that she puts at, I am like eager to pay it. And when I'm ready to buy it, when I'm ready to be there, I know that I will sync up with the energy of being able to do that. And that's so freaking powerful. And I'm willing to grow and evolve and to learn to be within that energy. And that's how I know I will get there. If I think that it's too far off, if I think that it's too crazy, if I think that it's too insane to pay a woman $500,000 for like a phone call, then how could I ever be a person that could ever charge that much or earn that much? I see the value of her time and attention. I see the value of what she has to offer. And I am soaking up everything that I possibly can that she has available because I want to learn from her. She went first. In my experience, she went first on this. I'm going to make money off of Facebook. I am going to make money teaching people. I am going to make money by improving my life. You know, she talks about how coaching Coaching is like, I improve my life. I show other people how to improve their life. And the more I improve my life, the more they improve their life. We're all making money from improving our lives. Coaching is a way of making money by living a better life. That's it. And so the better I live my life and the more powerfully I can teach you how to do the same, that's what coaching is. And she was willing to go first in this world, this whole wide world of Facebook. She built this $80 million business on Facebook. Yeah, she has like another little website where she uses to book people on. But everything she does is in Facebook groups. Everything, she goes live on Facebook. She's never paid for marketing ads. She chose that she wanted to do business her way, in the way that felt good for her, in the way that felt safe for her, in the way that was easy for her. Her customer CRM is Facebook Messenger. That's how she keeps track of everybody in her business. Now she has a customer service team who handles all of the questions in the comments, but that's her CRM. She used Facebook. I don't need to buy something extra. I've already got Facebook. It's available here with all the tools that I need. She went first. She led the way. She showed how to make it happen. So I'm following her. I'm taking the path that she's taken. And I'm going into the jungle also of newness that we haven't experienced. My life isn't exactly the same as hers. What she teaches me is giving me a guidance onto how I can cut the path through the jungle it is that I want to go through. We're a little bit different in our experiences. She likes luxurious experiences. I'm not, I'd rather play in the dirt with the cows and the chickens and swim in my, pond out back with the moss. Like that's more my vibe. Anyway, Renee, you left a big old comment. Let me read that. Renee Howard, yes, bet on yourself, Mel. You're a master at growth, peacetime, and financial management. You're there, and I'm on a similar journey. We only have one life. We only have one life in this life. I've decided a long time ago to do the hard work, to use my talents in entrepreneurship and feminine energy. I am so grateful for you being authentic and vulnerable, never gatekeeping, always teaching. I can still hear you in my head. I have passed both life and health and property and casualty on the first try. You've improved and changed my life. You are a life coach. Thank you. I appreciate you. So yeah, I can't believe the baby is still sleeping because I've been live now for an hour and 7 minutes. It's nuts. That's nuts. Okay. I decided to go first. I decided to go without preparation. I decided to go without confidence. And I changed the freaking game. And I became the GOAT of pre-licensing. And I built an 8-figure business by deciding to go first without preparation, without full confidence. And now I'm heading into the next level. Now I'm heading into Melissa May Dillon. That's my next brand. That's my next business. I plan to get it to go much faster, much quicker. I've already gone through the jungle of figuring this out. I've already gone through the experiences of learning how to trust other people. I've already gone through the experiences of bringing in wealth. I've already gone through so many experiences that I'm now going to be able to flip it on over for Melissa May Dillon. I've dibbled and I've dabbled. I have some YouTube videos. I have like 400 subscribers. I've sold a couple of little programs, Queen Energy, Mastering Your Life, Mega Millions. And I'm ready to go even more full out. So like I said, I have a 2 free week experience with me starting tomorrow. If you haven't signed up for that and you want to be in my energy, I'd highly encourage you to sign up for that. Honestly, with what I'm offering, it shouldn't be free. As I'm putting it together, it should not be free, but it is going to be free. And that is a benefit to you. So I would take that. And like I said, I'm going in without preparation, but I'm going in confident because I know that I'm an amazing, incredible fucking teacher. And I don't know, can I say that? And I know that when I have a room full of students, the magic just comes out. And there's already like 30 some people in there. It's a Telegram group. So we're on Telegram. I'm just going to be talking with you, sharing audio message, sharing text message, maybe a couple of videos, whatever. And it's all about getting clarity on your currency, how to get more money into your pocket now, and how to get more clear about how you would like to receive money full-time going forward. Most of us are so far from what we actually want. Most of us think we need a better job, a better degree, a better certificate, a better situation, and then we'll be able to make more money. Most of us have no idea what it is we truly want. And I'm going to help get some clarity for you around that. And if you're willing to work with me for free, I have no doubt that you will learn what you need to learn to where you can get the money to pay me for my bigger services, to pay me for more of my time. I'm comfortable and confident paying Melanie. I have no problem. In fact, in the next few weeks, in 11 days from now, how funny, 11/11, Catherine. In 11 days from now, Catherine is taking her test tomorrow, so we're sending her all the 11 vibes to pass the exam. But on the 21st, I paid, I think it was 11,000. I keep saying 10, but I'm pretty sure it was 11,111. I paid a woman $11,000 to sit down with her for one day from 12 to 5 EST. What is that hourly? That's insane. Let me look at that. I mean, it's not insane. Like, I'm willing to pay it. I'm happy to pay it. But 11,111, and that's 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hours divided by 5 hours. $2,000 an hour to sit with this woman. $2,222 to sit with her for 5 hours. So $11,000 in total. Over $2,000 an hour. I'm sitting with her for her time. I'm always willing to go first. I'll go first. I'll pay the big bucks to learn what I need to learn, and then I will come around and teach it to you. I'm not going to ask you yet to pay me $11,000 for my time. Not yet, but I will. I will. It's only a matter of time. As I learn, as I grow, as I evolve, as my energy gets bigger, as my wisdom gets stronger, as my experience grows, my price will go up. Again, this is one of the cheapest times it'll be to work with me, and I'm offering something for free. Holy crap. It should be a paid for program, what we're about to experience in these next 2 weeks. No doubt in my mind. But to be honest, I had doubt. I had some fear. And then I had to be reminded about what I did as the insurance exam queen. I had to be reminded about what I did. Melissa, bright-eyed, buzzed head, walking into a room with this much older white male who looked at me and was like, this girl has no chance. No chance. This is not going to work. And I went on to change the entire industry because I was willing to do it. I was willing to go first. I was willing to decide that what I wanted was most important. So no, I won't be charging you $11,000. Not yet. Not yet. But very soon. It's only a matter of time. So sign up for my free thing, though. I had some thoughts in my head. I had some worries about who am I? Who am I to do this? Who am I to tell people that they can live a life that they love? Who am I to tell people, how to create their own realities? Who am I to teach? And I'm like, oh, I'm the one who's done it. I'm the one who's done it. I'm the one who's been there. I'm the one. So anyway, before I really got clear on my currency and what I have to offer, I set this for free. And I'm going to post the link here for you. Now, 134 people have already signed up. I can see that here. But not necessarily everybody has joined in the Telegram group. But that's where all the action is going to be happening. Although I think I may put it in the course. It just depends. We'll see. I get to play around with how I want to do this. But all the action right now is going to be happening in the Telegram group. So join that. It is technically available for sale right now, my Mega Millions. I'm in a Mega Millions program right now. We're almost done with the first one. So it's a 9-week journey with me. We're coming very close to the end. Our very last day together is November 26th. And that experience was $888. And we had over 24 people sign up. So I've already rolled out starting another experience in January, but I have a feeling that I'm gonna be changing this next Mega Millions, and that it's gonna be doubling. So 888. What is 888 times 2? 888 times 2. Somewhere, yeah. I was thinking somewhere close to 1,888. I think I'm gonna be increasing the price to 1,000, and I'll be doing that at whatever day I decide, whenever I decide, however I decide to do that. But for right now, it is available for purchase on the website at 888. I can share that link with you as well. And if it changes, if the price goes up, you're still locked in at the 888. And like I said, we're almost done with the current class of that, and I will start the next round. And people, by the way, have had incredible experiences in there. There's a realtor in there who's been able to sell his first few homes. There's another guy in there who's on the verge of signing $1 million contract with the company that he's starting. There's another person in there with the VIP experience who has her paychecks went from $4,000 to $6,000, now up to $14,000, $13,000. So many people in the Mega Millions are experiencing incredible freaking results. And we're going to roll out round 2, but I already know I'm going to do it different. And I already know I'm going to probably more than double the price. But before I officially do that, it is technically still available right now for sale for $888. There are some payment plan options on there, which you're welcome to sign up for. The link is on there in the chat here on Facebook. But I can't tell you exactly when it's going to go up or when exactly I'm going to pull the trigger on that. But the baby is waking up, so I got to go. So I love you all. The information for Telegram, there's a link inside the welcome email and inside the course of how to join the Telegram group. So I love you all. Have an amazing day. Be willing to go first. Be willing to move without preparation. Be willing to move without confidence. That's how you gain it. I love you all. Have an amazing day. Bye.